What's good, everybody? It's your boy JTL, Opposite from the Norm. And real quick, I just want to let y'all know about Opposite from the Norm apparel t-shirts. Brought to you by GFam G-Wear. You like our show and our content? Then go to gfament.com and click on G Store, and there you can purchase an Opposite from the Norm t-shirt. Also, you can check out other great tees that represent true kings and true queens as well. Shirts that motivate and make you feel great. Once again, that's gfament.com and click on the G Store link to get your apparel tees. Now back to the show. Chill!
What's good, everybody? What's good? You already know what time it is. Yo, boy, the one and only JTL.
What up, what up? It's your boy HD, aka Fuck You and Your Mama.
aka Late D. All right,
Yeah.
all right. So we're gonna go ahead, get started for y'all, man. We're gonna go ahead and get into the shit show. Make sure you first of all like, share, comment, and definitely make sure you subscribe. All right, man. So go ahead. We're gonna start it off with the news, my brother. Once you go ahead and do your thing.
All right, we're gonna start it off in the sports world, and I felt that it was only right that I do a little small dedication to Kobe. You know, Sunday would have been his 42nd birthday, so I definitely just wanted to just highlight him. That was a big, big, big loss for us, especially with the stuff that he was doing after his career, really getting involved in his daughter's lives, going into the, taking on doing movies and documentaries and doing a lot of things to help the women's basketball. He wanted to help his daughter get to the WNBA. He also wanted to help the WNBA become bigger. So he was trying to do some things behind the scenes to help out the women's league, which, you know, you rarely see a prominent male figure, from the NBA trying to go over to that other league and help out. So, he this was definitely a big loss. Just to highlight some of the things, he finished fourth on the all-time scoring list in NBA history. He was the first player in NBA history to have 30,000 career points and 6,000 assists, and was one of only four players with 25,000 points, 6,000 rebounds, and 6,000 assists. And also, he had the second highest scoring performance in league history behind Wilt Chamberlain's 100 when he scored 81 points against Toronto Raptors back in 2006. He was a five-time NBA champion, two-time NBA Finals MVP. He won one league MVP back in 2008, which is bullshit because that year Steve Nash won, he should have won. He was an 18-time NBA All-Star, a four-time NBA All-Star Game MVP. He made the All-NBA first team 11 times. He had two times on the All-NBA second team and two times on the All-NBA third team, which is also very hard to do. He was a nine-time NBA All-Defensive first team. So that shows that he did it on both ends. He wasn't just playing just offense. He was playing both ends of the court. So that shows his stamina, and that also shows his dedication to wanting to stop the other player with the ball. And he also finished on the all defensive second team three times. He won the scoring title twice in 2006 and in 2007. And, in his earlier years, he won the slam dunk contest back in 97. And he got both of his numbers retired by the Lakers, number 8 and number 24. And before that, he was a Naismith Prep Player of the Year and first team Parade All American back in 1996. So rest in peace to Kobe. Also, his beautiful daughter, and also a shout out to his wife. His wife has really been very just gracious and elegant in everything that she said. All the she hasn't been, out there a lot, but she's been going through some legal things and she's been handling herself very, very well. She hasn't been lashing out at anybody. She's been, very professional, and especially not just losing her husband, but losing your child. That has to be. I've always heard older people say, "There's nothing worse in the world than to have to bury your own child." So, um, definitely a shout out to his wife as well for everything that she's going through.
Yep. Definitely. Rest in peace, Cole. Rest in peace to his baby girl, man. I'm gonna go ahead and swing it over here to politics, and I'm reading this from CNN. So, Trump administration asked Supreme Court to reinstate medication abortion requirement despite COVID-19. The Trump administration is asking the Supreme Court to reinstate a rule requiring abortion seekers to visit healthcare providers in person to acquire one of the pills for medication abortions after lower courts blocked the rule during the ongoing pandemic. The escalated fight surrounding the pills, which the Food and Drug Administration does not require to be taken while the healthcare provider is the latest development in a pandemic area clash over abortion access that has increasingly manifest as a battle of regulations. Given that surgical methods of abortion remain widely available, the reinforcement of long-standing safety requirements for medication abortion during the first 10 weeks of pregnancy does not constitute a substantial obstacle to abortion access, even if the COVID pandemic has made obtaining any method of abortion in person somewhat riskier. Acting Solicitor General Jeffrey Wall wrote Wednesday. No offense to nobody, but why the fuck do you need to have an abortion right now? You mean to tell me all these contraceptives that are available right now, or just close your fucking legs or swallow? I don't know what to tell you. Just something, pull out or
Put on
swallow.
a condom.
Something, either learn how to make your pull out game better, or just put on a condom, or take birth control, or just stop fucking altogether. I mean, I don't understand, in my personal opinion, why this is still issues to my women out there. Be smarter. I know the dick good for you. I know, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But also, real shit, we need to be smarter. We need to stop. You got to realize, I'm not trying to tell anybody what to do. I'm just giving a little advice. We got to realize that these lives are precious. We got to stop this. We got to have more self-control than just out here fucking everything and females. Man, son, do you realize that how many females be having at least 2 or 3 abortions
Right.
in a lifetime? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like,
that topic hits home to me because I wrote a paper on that in high school, and when I was in college, I wrote papers about abortions. And like you said, I'm not also trying to tell no one what to do with their life or with their body, but they're so it's just it's just very easy to not even get to that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know we're all human. I know we all make mistakes, but there are some people who don't even attempt to wear a condom. Like, they don't even attempt it. They don't even put that in the realm of their mind, and even with some females, I know that these things could be harmful to your body and make you have mood swings, some gain weight, but birth control, taking a pill or taking a shot, or now they got the thing that you can put in your arm. Like, there's just ways to avoid having to get to this stage where you're getting an abortion. It's just plain and simple.
man, I can think of a few off the top of my head. Like I said, you have the pills that the women can take, then you got the shot that women can do. You got I think they call it a graft or something like that, where that women can insert. That's 3. You got condoms. That's 4. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a lot of contraceptives out there that you can be, or the 5th one is women can get their shit snipped. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's plenty of
Or
things I just
the
don't think
man
this should be
could get it too. The man can, get himself fixed up. You know what I'm saying?
something, but whatever. It's just I just it's crazy that that's a situation right now. I'm gonna let you go ahead and get to your next topic. Wear a condom.
Please go to Walmart, buy a pack, buy 2 packs. I'm gonna go to world news since we going through still this COVID-19. There's a 33-year-old man living in Hong Kong, and this is via CNN News, by the way. Had COVID-19 twice this year, according to preliminary research. He had symptoms the first time around, but no obvious symptoms the second time around. The team at the University of Hong Kong reported. The preprint study, which the University of Hong Kong said has been accepted for publication in the journal Clinical Infectious Diseases, found that the man's second case of COVID-19 occurred 142 days after his first one. During the first episode of illness, the patient had a cough, sore throat, fever, and headache for 3 days, according to the study. He tested positive for COVID-19 on March 26. Then, during his second episode, the patient was returning to Hong Kong from traveling in Spain via the United Kingdom, and he tested positive during his entry screening at the Hong Kong airport on August 15th, the researchers said. The man was hospitalized again, but he remained stable. For the study, researchers at the university and various hospitals in Hong Kong analyzed specimens collected from the patient 10 days after his symptoms emerged in the first episode, and then 1 day after the hospitalization for the second one. The genetic analyst suggested that the first infection was from a strain of the coronavirus most closely related to the strains from the United States or England, and the second infection was most closely related to the strains from Switzerland and England. This case illustrates that reinfection can occur even just a few months of recovery from the first one. The findings suggest that SARS-CoV-2 may persist in humans, as is the case for other common colds associated with human coronavirus, even if patients have acquired immunity via natural infection or via vaccination. Dr. Paul Offit, director of the Vaccine Education Center and professor of pediatrics at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, said it was great news that the man in the new study had no symptoms the second time he was infected. Second infection was asymptomatic. While immunity was not enough to block reinfection, it protected the person from disease. Patients had no detectable antibody at the time of reinfection, but developed detectable antibody after reinfection. This is encouraging, said the study. I brought that up because that was something that was coming to my mind, and I never, I didn't know that I was gonna find a story on it, but I didn't know that you could catch COVID-19 more than once. So that definitely further stresses the point of staying safe, not being stupid, and just trying to go out and party and do all this shit because number one, it's not over. And number two, as the study shows, you can't get it twice. And the second time, you may not have any outward signs of you having it.
Mm. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and slide on to the left, slippity slide to local state news, and this is via Bay News 9. Task Force sends nursing home reopening recommendations to Florida governor, and I'm surprised he even listened. This old punk. Anyways, roundtable discussion in Orlando, Florida, the governor said he supports limited visitation, an indication he will move forward with the plan. My view on all of this since the beginning is you got to do things to keep people safe, particularly our most vulnerable in those facilities, DeSantis said. But just like anything else, you got to find a way to get stuff done. And
Mm.
this visitation is long overdue at this point. We got to get it done. That's like sound like a good old boy in my head reading this. For many families, this move signals a long-awaited light at the end of the tunnel after being banned from visiting since March. Task Force member Mary Daniel, who made national headlines when she took a dishwashing job at her husband's assisted living facility earlier this summer, expects it to be just a matter of days before a new emergency rule or an amendment to the original is put in place. I cannot wait to hear from everybody because everybody's going to get in, Daniel said. That's because, along with essential and compassionate caregivers, the recommendations were allowed to general visitation. Of course, there will be guidelines. Among them, a facility must have no new cases for at least 14 days, and visitors must wear masks and practice social distancing, which I personally don't think gonna work that good. The
Mm-mm.
recommendations won't be mandatory. Mandatory.
You're right.
No, that's something Daniel calls a major compromise. It is a bit of a concern, but there is a remedy in our recommendations. Daniel said it will include what a family can do, and that is file a complaint with AHCA if they feel their facility is not moving forward to get them in. And Daniel also pointed out that the recommendations are meant to be a living document, meaning the task force can reconvene to make adjustments. Yeah, I see how every time I go to the store, I see how people are, regardless how everybody feel. What annoys me, and this has always been me, when I go to the store, I don't like motherfuckers crowding around me. I can't
All
stand
up
that
on your
shit.
shoulder.
When I'm standing, you ever noticed this before? How people do this shit? Say you standing at the counter, right, and behind you, it's like I say, let's say 7 feet wide of space or 8 feet wide of space, and some kind of way a motherfucker still happens to walk 6 inches behind you. I be looking like motherfucker, all this space over here, and you still got that close to me. Or what's up? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I pray for them because there's a lot of people that have, unfortunately, man. I know from history of elderly people and loved ones dying in those nursing facilities alone, no family.
Mm-hmm.
Not only
Right.
the family, you know what I'm saying, a situation like this where the family can't go see him, but a situation where the family won't go see him and these people die alone. So I don't know, man. I pray we be able to figure out something how to, get it together. But that's what happens. You need to learn how to love and care for people more, man. HD.
Especially the older people, because I just, maybe I'm naive, but I find it real sickening that I'm continuing to read stories where there are people that are getting into arguments and actually getting into physical altercations with people over 60 because they're asking them simply, hey, put on your mask, or can you go back to your car and put on your mask, or they're fighting people who work in stores who are saying, hey, we can't let you in the store without a mask. They don't give a fuck about older people, especially the older ones, because the older people, may have already things wrong with them or certain sicknesses that makes their immune system even more weaker. So if they do contract this COVID-19, I hate saying this, but they're more susceptible to die, and they just don't give a fuck about older people, man. It's sickening. It really is.
Sad, man.
All right, I'm going to take my last news topic, which is in finance. I'm going to speak on a company that mostly everybody likes, which is Apple. They're doing a stock split now. And this is according to CNN Business and also Apple. The split follows a huge milestone for the iPhone maker. Last week, Apple's market cap surpassed $2 trillion. In the following days, that number has continued to climb to around 2.16 trillion as of Monday, making Apple the most valuable stock in history after passing Saudi Aramco, recorded 2.03 trillion market cap peak, which it reached in December. Apple's stock split process begins Monday after the closing bell on the stock market. The company will make a record of current shareholders whose stocks will be split. Current investors will receive their additional shares after the closing bell on August 28th, and shares will begin trading at the new split adjusted price on August 31st. The 4-for-1 stock split will not change the value of any investor's total holdings of Apple. It will just grow the number of shares making up that pot. So if a potential investor has a set amount of money they want to invest in the company, it wouldn't necessarily matter if they bought before or after the split. The split expected to make a difference for smaller individual investors who may not be able to afford a share of Apple at $500 each. So, but they could afford the lower, spot split price. As of Monday afternoon, Apple shares were trading at around $505 a share. This is Apple's fifth stock split since going public back in June of 2014. Following a 7-for-1 stock split, Apple shares were trading at $94 stock. Within a year, share prices have grown nearly 37% to 129. Currently, Apple holds an 8% market share in emerging markets compared to 35% share in developing markets and 15% overall global market shares. They're predicting by 2023, Huber says she expects that around 70% of Apple consumers would participate in the trade-in program, which could boost Apple's emerging market share to 15% and its overall global market share to 21% in that period. So if you are, someone that's trying to get, in the game with the stocks like me, you got your little change in your savings account, checkings account, go ahead and try to get up on that because Apple is just going to continue rising and rising and rising until someone else comes along to knock them off. And it doesn't really look like that's going to be happening anytime soon.
All right, yeah. Y'all want that money, man? Get up on that money, man.
Start
All right.
start looking one good app that all you out there who are interested is Robinhood. I have that on my phone. I check it just about every day. It's a good starting point from you so you can learn how to trade and invest on the stock market.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm gonna go on to the last news update. Recent news, sadly to say, Master P had some things to say about his brother C. Miller. We ain't
Oh
gonna call him
man.
other thing no more because the brother said he trying to change that. So he had
Okay.
some things to say about Corey Miller. Y'all know who he used to be. So apparently, Master P went online because he felt that he was tired of being attacked and certain family members being attacked about C murder and the fact they're saying that he ain't being there for his brother while he been in prison. Then also um, saying some certain things that he had to cut the ATM. So cut the ATM off from certain family members and what I'm saying because he got tired of being used like a bank and then people don't even appreciate it. So his statement was, I know my brother said that he put some books out and made minimum, and that's the way he took care of his family. And those books is what I disagree with what he said. He taught my mother, my dad, the people that created him. He said they didn't do nothing for him, which is a lie. Anybody that know me, know I don't need no pat on the back or nothing. Whatever I done for him, I done it out of love. My grandmother, she's not here right now. She's my angel. She should be his angel. I never heard him talk about her like that. I know Kim Kardashian put out one tweet and she's his angel, which is crazy to me, but I appreciate it. Like I said, my brother's innocent. And I hope she can get him out, and I hope that I hope that she can get him out. Also, Monica, he made some statements about Monica saying that basically, he was saying that that's his ride or die, but she only reconnected with him about 7 months ago, and she just had recently got a divorce. So I guess he's trying to say, how is that your ride or die when she just got divorced? So all the time that she could have been there for you, she wasn't there for you because she's married. I'm pretty much guessing that. Would you mind hitting mute in the back, you disrespectful motherfucker, please?
Hey man. Hey.
Pumping gas and shit. Anyways, so he like I said, he was saying that. And a lot of people had something to say. Monica said basically that's y'all family business. Please don't put me into that. And I think Master P apologized, but I'm not gonna read that shit because I don't really give a fuck about Monica that much anyway. No disrespect. Hopefully the brother C murder gets out. And then unfortunately the other day, real quick to add to insult to the injury, uh Well, Soldier Slim's sister, G.I. Peaches, came out and made a
Yo, Peaches.
G.I. Peaches.
Yo,
She a
that's
rap
like the
artist.
best name of the year. G.I. Peaches. Man.
So she made a statement and she was going in. She was like, fuck a motherfucking Master P. Don't
Whoa.
send me no shit like that. Don't tag me into no Master P shit like that. Everybody know Master P ain't no motherfucking saint, especially if you come from New Orleans. You know that he ain't shit. He done cutthroat a lot of people. He ain't been there for a lot of people. He ain't helped
Mm,
nobody. He ain't do shit for the city. He ain't put the city on like that. He ain't do shit
mm,
for me. In fact, she also went as far to say, not as far to say, she exactly said, why don't you, Master P, tell everybody about how you put a hit on my brother Soldier Slim?
mm. Wow.
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
big allegations right there.
Yeah,
Wow.
and you know what's so sad about this whole situation? God rest the brother's soul. But what bothers me is every time somebody's not dealing with Master P no more, all of a sudden he's never done nothing for him. See, Murder, that's my boy, but he also, I heard him on the interview talking to somebody on the radio show. He said Master P don't do nothing for me, hasn't done nothing for me in so long. And then also that, you know what I'm saying, he hasn't been there, been a brother for him. And then I see other stories of other people that had to come back and retract their statements when they say Master P ain't do nothing for him. One brother named Crazy, no, I'm sorry, not Crazy, KLC said Master P is the only fault I see in Master P is the fact that when he get to that point that he's gonna cut you off, he's gonna cut you off. And
Mm,
but see, this is the thing, Master P, and I figured that out. I was like, he real stubborn. Master P's a Taurus, and I know what Taurus is, and anybody know what Taurus, they know they are very stubborn once they get stuck in their ways. But the producer, former producer of Beats by the Pound and Medicine Man, said that Master P is still a good dude. Everybody has to understand. He also told a story about how he was about to do an album. See, Murder's about to do an album at the time, and Master P was doing a lot of things. You know, at this time he was playing for trying to play for the Charlotte Hornets and doing movies and all of that stuff. He said he called back and was like he wasn't gonna be able to be on his or C Murder album. C Murder got mad and he was a little upset, but C Miller, I'm sorry, was more upset than KL was. So this is the thing. If you look at it, everybody says that, but I keep hearing stories about how Master P would give somebody $50,000, $100,000, $300,000, buy somebody a house, buy somebody two cars, buy somebody Rolexes, just put money in their pocket and never come back and ask for it. But as soon as Master P had to tell them no after telling them yes a million times, the millionth and one time he says no, all of a sudden it's fuck Master P. And it's so sad because it's this cat named Crazy that was on No Limit that told a story like that too. It was like Soldier Slim got rich, so he got out of prison. He came back expecting Master P and No Limit to still be rolling like it used to. He said he gave Soldier 50,000, told him just, you know what I'm saying, be cool. We're gonna figure out everything. And then he said allegedly that he feels Soldier Slim was riding around with BG, you know, seeing BG had got a check for his record label from Koch Records, was spending his money, so he wanted to stunt like him, spend the money on jewelry, and like he's just gonna call Big Homie and then just get another check. And Master B had to tell him it ain't like that no more. Just chill, be easy. Let's figure it out later on. We're gonna ball again, but we gotta be smart. So just Slim didn't want to understand that, so he walked away. And a lot of other artists have done that. But what's so sad, a lot of them ended up coming back and having to show Master P love. Master P has done so much. If you anybody gets the chance to go check out No Limit Chronicles on BT, you see they show footage of when Hurricane Katrina happened. Master P got up with the housing authority and helped raise $119 million and rebuilt the projects. And if you look online, you can see how beautiful the old projects look over there. And I think they used to be the Magnolia projects and Calio projects and stuff like that. And he helped to rebuild a lot of that stuff after I'm gonna say 9/11. I'm sorry, after Katrina happened. But unfortunately, I don't know how old Soulja Slim's sister is, or is she still bitter and felt like, you know, because for anybody who know about Soulja Slim like me, you know, he was kind of, you know, him and BG was kind of dissing Cash Money and No Limit after they falling out. So she probably still harping those feelings and not thinking about all the stuff that Peace did for the city. And one more real quick thing. The sad thing is cats be kind of hating, don't realize they're hating. I just seen a recent interview with Young Turk formerly from the Hot Boys,
mm-hmm.
and he was talking to MREC TV. Y'all can go look it up. MREC asked him about Soulja Slim's sister's accounts, and he said I don't talk about no gangster shit, man. That's gangster shit. I don't talk about that on no camera, man. But I don't know nothing about that. But before that, he asked him about how he felt about P, and he said, I don't want to make it seem like I'm hating or nothing like that. But Master P didn't really put No Limit on the map like that. Before No Limit, everybody wanted to sign the Cash Money of Big Boy Records, and Big Boy Records used to have Mystical before he went to No Limit, and that's where he dropped the album that had that "Here I Go" song on the album. And sadly enough, I'm sorry, Turk, but you kind of was hating because you're not gonna sit there and tell me that New Orleans got put on the map in a big way if it wasn't for Master P doing what he
Right.
did to No Limit. So I'm gonna shoot out some love and respect to Master P because I understand to a certain extent what you're going through. Not on that level, but I understand you can do a million things for somebody, and the first time you say no, it's
Yep.
fuck you. So
Right.
sadly, and I gotta say this real quick too. If a motherfucker say they from the hood and all that, you need to know how to shut your mouth up. If it's a man, me and my dog, we gonna talk about them. You know what I'm saying? If it's a female being out of line, we're gonna talk about them too.
Both of you.
You don't get online and say you put a hit on my brother. You don't do that. You do one or two things. If you're not a street person, you go to the police. If you are a street person, you keep it in the motherfucking streets.
Right.
Simple. So
Putting that
what
shit all
y'all
over the internet, that does not bode well for your quote unquote street credibility.
gangsters don't go to rapping and talking online. I don't know what day and age we are in where somebody will bust out and say somebody put a hit on somebody because also y'all can look it up. The alleged person that killed Soldier Slim is dead. And I seen a video where somebody was talking about it, and they did a video about the alleged killer, and they were saying that this person is from New Orleans. They knew Soldier Slim, and they knew a lot of people around that way. And he spoke about how the name that came up was never Master P. It was another person who, matter of fact, was allegedly a hitman around the projects and killed a lot of people. Nah, not Master P. So we're gonna go ahead and end our news. That was politics, local, state news, city and state news, finances, entertainment, sports, and politics. So we're gonna go ahead and slide on over now to my boy HD topic of discussion. He got some serious shit to talk about.